Okay, so tomorrow we are going to be getting a brand new update. Also, kind of get ready because we're expecting something that's somewhat similar to the Beanstalk update. We're going to go ahead and pretend this is the tree. As always, if you guys are brand new, hi, I do grow garden content. Make sure you hit that like button as it does help me come out with more content like this for you guys. And if you're brand new, make sure you subscribe. All right, so we have something called a fall bloom. You submit things to this tree pretty much, and you'll be able to unlock pretty much access to 3 sections. Fall Festival Seeds, Fall Festival Pets, and Fall Festival Cosmetics. This is literally going to be just like the Beanstalk update. You're going to have berry, flower, fruit, leafy, sweet, tropical, vegetable, prickly, woody, and stocky submissions. Rarity is also going to take a huge part in this as well. So if you have Elder Strawberries example for berry, that's going to give you 7 points. Grapes giving you 6, and strawberry, blueberry, raspberry, they're all going to respectively give you 1, 2, and 3 points. With flower, Bone Blossom being the highest, that's going to give you 8 points. Below that is going to be your Tranquil Bloom, giving you 7, Burning Bud, Ember Lily, giving you all 7 points. Fruit being the lowest, Strawberry giving you 1 point, all the way up to Elderberry giving you 7. Romaseco giving you the highest of 7 points, Strawberry giving you 1. I feel like Strawberry is going to be the minimal amount for everything that is going to be berry, fruit, leafy, and sweet. The highest for this in sweet is going to be Romaseco. So it's a really good idea if you guys haven't already done so, is to kind of get ready to pull out the garden guides to pretty much see what you guys have here, or otherwise you will have to visit the Grow Garden Wiki, which I would really recommend more so than anything else. It makes the whole process so much more easier, and I end up using that versus more than my garden guide. So make sure you guys pay attention to all of that. The one thing that ended up piquing my interest the most is something called a firefly jar. Now, it is classified as something as a gear, which, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure what that does exactly. All I know is the jar stuff is just literally like, after this fairy event, I'm over jars. I'm gonna be real. I am completely over the jar situation. This is how many jars that I've collected, respectively, throughout this entire week. I am done with jars. But I'm hoping that it's not related to the event because obviously we are going to be submitting some things inside of here, so I highly doubt maybe perhaps this has to do anything with the event, and more so maybe for mutations maybe, I'm not entirely sure. But set aside from the fairy jar, we have Sky Lantern, Maple Leaf Kite, a Leaf Blower, Candy Corn, Maple Leaf Charm, Maple Sprinkler, a Bonfire, a Harvest Basket, a Golden Acorn. Now, this is all stuff from just a gear shop alone. Again, as always, we don't know if all of these are going to be added or if it's just maybe perhaps something maybe for this week and progressively for next week. I'm not entirely sure. But what I do know is I am curious about this firefly jar that's going to be coming out. Sorry guys, he's learning. I gotta, every eclipse that happens, he has to come out and he has to learn. He's learning knowledge from the eclipse. Alrighty, get ready for the pets, okay? We have the fall egg, red squirrel, chipmunk, sugar glider, and a space squirrel. Now, what's inside of the egg itself is going to be a robin, a badger, a grizzly bear, a barn owl, and a swan at 1%. So the swan ends up singing a song every 12 minutes. What this does is it allows you to get additional XP on your pets, and it will feed your pets as well. But that's not the only thing. Every 15 minutes, it applies a graceful mutation to a random fruit. Now, the interesting part about these pets are 2 of them actually increase and decrease the size of your character. Now, I don't know what the relevance is between your size of the character in the game versus whatever, but the Robin gives you a 10% decreased player size, and the Grizzly Bear gives you a 8% increased player size. So the Robin makes you tiny, the bear makes you big. What's the connection due to this event that's going to require you to be either baby or big, pretty much? But I'm pretty sure this might just be like a visual thing that maybe players wanted. If you want to be tiny inside of your garden, you could be tiny in your garden, or you could be a wombo-sized person. And finally, the seed shop stock. There's only 2 seeds inside of the shop, apparently. According to the wiki page, there's a golden peach seed, which, I mean, is obviously really cool looking. I'm pretty sure when that grows out, it might be actually really pretty. And then there's another seed that I don't even know how to pronounce. Nephoia? How do you say that word? Okay, well, it's a little seed that has like rings around it. It looks like one of those toddler toys that have the rings around it. And for each seed, you have to either grow it 6 6 or 7 times. And those are the only seeds that are apparently inside of the shop. Now going over the other seeds, there are turnip parsley, carnival pumpkin seed, Meyer lemon seed, maple resin seed, that one seed that we can't pronounce, and a golden peach seed, which I mean, if we're expecting a exotic seed pack, which we always get every single update, I'm pretty sure some of these seeds are gonna actually just go inside of that pack. But which order? I do not know. Going back to the cosmetics too, and the gear, some of the stuff that's inside of the gear section within the wiki kind of looks like it might be cosmetics. So we have the maple leaf kite, the leaf blower, the maple leaf charm, the bonfire, the harvest basket, and the golden acorn. Now, what sounds reasonable for gear actually sounds like the maple sprinkler, the maple leaf charm, maybe the actual firefly jar, and I don't know, a golden acorn, but a harvest basket, a bonfire, those sound like things that could be inside of a crate. Right now, currently, there is no indication of what's inside of the cosmetic shop other than just like a fall crate. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on Saturday when it comes to this. But I could definitely say I am super duper happy that this event is finally over. The reason being is I don't have to actually go and get jars anymore. I don't have to make nets anymore. I don't have to worry about getting gleaming mutations anymore. So for everybody here, go ahead and take advantage of what you can that's left out of the fairy event. Submit everything, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna go ahead and destroy and reclaim my entire plot. Since this is going to be a new event, we do have to kind of get ready for what we need to go ahead and submit. This includes all of the stuff that we're expected to submit, from berry, flower, fruit, leafy, sweet, tropical, vegetable, prickly, woody, and stocky. I usually have a very pinpointed layout, especially when it comes to these types of events, and I did the same thing with the beanstalk update. So I'm gonna go ahead and have to go and destroy what I can, and should I go ahead and start moving things over that I don't feel like reclaiming, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and move them with the trowel. And this includes the elderberry, pine cone, my coconut, because that literally took like so many watering cans to grow out, so I do not feel like destroying those. Ember lilies over here, and my burning bud. Stuff that I don't necessarily need to fully destroy will be left alone, but for sure these strawberries can actually just get removed and placed somewhere else. So what I would say for everybody here is to kind of prep your garden slowly. And if you do not have the ability to get like certain seeds, absolutely get ready for the admin abuse event. Usually when it's an hour before the event, a lot of the high tier seeds end up getting restocked very graciously. So you could get anything that you would think that you would need, because a lot of the times the beanstalks, the ember lily, the sugar apple, burning bud, giant pine cone, the elderberry, then the Roma Secco, they do get restocked during this time. So that's something that I'm gonna have to also do, even though I already have the amounts that I need. Most of the time the gear shop also gets very graciously restocked. And we're going to be talking about like actually getting the Grandmaster, the level lollipop, and even the Master Sprinkler. And if you can't make those events, obviously that's absolutely fine. This means I'm gonna have to probably recreate a lot of these reclaimers and stuff. And clearly, if you guys don't want to walk back and forth between your plot and the event section, make a lot of those. You're gonna need them. But that's pretty much what we're expecting this Saturday. Of course, as always, some of these things might get changed around, requirements, stuff like that. You just never know. But either way, having it prepped up and ready to go is definitely something that I'm gonna go ahead and work on tonight. Until then, I don't know if you guys paid attention to the garden ascension real quick. Remember how they made it super duper hard? How it's so impossible to get certain things? Well, they made it so much more easier. And the nice part is, there is no more transferring your shekels at all to any alts. You will only lose a certain amount every single time that you ascend. Before, it used to be like 10 trillion for me, but now it's progressively going higher and higher, but the requirement is so much more less. It looks like it stayed at 10 garden coins, which I'm really happy about, but the only downside, obviously, for some people, is that they increased the amount that it costs for the garden plot save, which I mean is fine, because every 4 hours, you'll be able to go ahead and ascend, which at the very end of of the day, I'm completely happy about because it doesn't take 24 hours to do this at a time. I'm chilling. And the cool thing is as well, if you already rebirthed before this implement was placed, this Saturday we are going to be getting a reward apparently for this. How they're going to be able to pretty much tell who was able to do this, I'm not entirely sure, but I guess those players are going to get rewarded for just doing it early, I guess. In other news, Sam does go to tier 4, by the way, so it just does keep going up higher and higher and higher. Now, after 4, I don't know what happens, but either way, I'm still feeding him. I did end up getting to Raphael and maxing out his stuff, but I guess some people are saying that it was extremely unwhelming, but I'm assuming that his stuff as well also goes past level 3, so we have the pet name Reroller and the pet lead. I guess if you want a different name for your pet, I guess this is cool, but for this, why would you want to walk your pet around for 10 seconds? But if I wanted to walk around with my pet for like the entire time until I put it back in, huh? I guess the concept is cute. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this whole entire update. So hopefully you guys are getting your gardens ready and you guys are prepared for tomorrow. Until then, remember, prep your garden to make this so much more easier. You guys have to do this. And as always, make sure you guys do like the video as it does help me come out with more content like this for you guys. And if you're brand new, make sure you guys subscribe. I will see you guys all tomorrow. Okay, bye.